Hello, and thank you so much for watching this video on the writing process by me, Ashan R. Hampton. You can find out more about me at www.arhampton.com. Whether you are a student writing an essay or a business professional writing a report, the process of going from blank page to written document is pretty much the same. So let's get started. Yes, this is what the writing process looks like when you figure out you have to actually sit down and write something. So let's talk about step one, exploring ideas. First, you want to consider the subject, consider the purpose, and consider the audience. We are going to look at each of these in more detail, but considering your subject, purpose, and audience will help you shape your ideas for whatever it is you are writing. Okay, let's take a look. When considering the subject, you're asking yourself, what are you talking about? What is the main idea of your writing? Here's an example for a possible subject: the most important job skills for career success. That sounds like something you can write an essay or an article about. Here are examples of other writing prompts or topics: your dream job, a challenging time in your life, an important decision. These are topics or writing prompts that you might see in a classroom assignment or on a standardized test. But subject means getting to the what you are talking about. Purpose is why are you talking about this subject? Here's examples of purpose: to inform your audience about a new policy or procedure, to persuade people to become vegetarian, or to entertain your audience with strange or funny work stories. Basically, your writing will fall into one of these three categories when you're talking about purpose. You're either going to inform, persuade, or entertain. In some cases, depending on what you're writing, you might use all three techniques, or you might use two and not just one. But purpose is why are you talking about this? The reasons that you are talking about your particular subject. When talking about your audience, ask yourself, who are you writing for? The audience consists of the people who will read your writing. That could be your instructor, other classmates, a supervisor, or coworkers. Remember that your audience will vary depending on the situation and purpose of your writing. Let's take a look at a brief audience analysis. Let's say, for example, the subject is the value of community colleges. This is what you want to write about. Your purpose is to inform and persuade. A lot of people are not aware of all of the benefits of community colleges, so you will be informing them of the value and the benefits. And then you might want to persuade some people to take another look or to attend a community college, or at least to consider community colleges when they are graduating high school. So your audience will determine what kind of information you will use depending on who you are talking to. If you're talking to students, you'll use certain ideas to get across to them. If you're talking to educators, parents, or administrators, you're going to pull information that will persuade or be of most interest to these different segments of your audience. Adjusting for audience. So let's take a look at an example here of one topic: the benefits of community colleges. And you want to talk to students. Students comprise your audience. You might want to talk about the quality education they can receive at a community college, relevant job skills, meaning you will actually learn things that you can apply in the workplace, and smaller classes than other universities. Those are all benefits that you would want to give to students to inform them and help persuade them to think about community colleges and the benefits for them. Now, on the other hand, if you take this same topic, the benefits of community colleges, but your audience changes to parents, then what you talk to them about, what you write about will also change. Parents are interested in money, so you might want to talk about the low cost tuition, shorter graduation time, meaning their child could graduate in 2 years rather than 4, career relevance. Can my child get a job after they leave this institution? That's what we mean. So we're not saying that these things are not important to students, especially non-traditional or working students, but you see how depending on the audience, depending on who you are talking to, then the points that you are making to both of them will change. Step 2 of the writing process is pre-writing. Pre-writing involves strategies to help you generate ideas and support for your topic. Basically, pre-writing techniques help get you started. It helps you think about your writing project and how to structure it. So brainstorming is very popular. You can do this alone or in groups, but it's when you jot down or you list your ideas in words and short phrases. Think bullet points. At this point, when you're brainstorming, you're not writing full sentences unless that's helpful to you. And you definitely are not typing on a computer because that will distract you. It's better to just write out longhand. Oh yeah, I know that's old school, but it works because it helps your brain to connect to your creativity, and writing that down will help you organize yourself a lot better than trying to tap on a keyboard. Another pre-writing strategy is clustering. That's when you draw graphical circles labeled with words or phrases to capture your ideas. The main idea is in the middle, and all of the related ideas branch from it. That's mind mapping, and it works for some people, especially if you are a visual person and you like to organize yourself in a visual manner. Another pre-writing strategy is free writing. This is when you allow yourself a specified amount of time, about 10 minutes or so, to write anything that comes to mind about your topic with no regard to organization, grammar, or editing, and you don't stop. Literally, your pen keeps writing on the paper for 10 minutes without stopping. This is really good if you have a little bit of writer's block and you're not sure what you want to say. As long as you just start writing, then your ideas will kickstart, and then you'll be able to look back and find something that hopefully you can put into your essay or writing project. Another pre-writing strategy is questioning who, what, when, why, where, and how. These are called the reporter's questions. You will actually write these down on a piece of paper, and out beside it, write the information like who is your audience? Write that down. I'm talking to other students. What is your subject? Write that down. And this helps a lot of people to define and to hone in on exactly what they need to talk about and how they need to talk about it and how they need to structure it in their essay or writing project. Journaling is another pre-writing strategy. It's when you use a notebook to write raw, private thoughts about your ideas. But be warned, because a journal might be required or assigned by your instructor, meaning they might give you specific topics to write about, and they are going to read it and check it for a grade. If that is the case, then your private thoughts are not going to be so private. So you don't want to get overly personal. You don't want to use bad language. Sometimes for some people, journaling and writing in this personal way helps them to get their ideas out, and then they're able to write about it in a more formal way. So remember, journaling is not like writing a diary. You are sticking to the ideas of your topic and how you think you can best write them down. Every writing project has an introduction, body, and conclusion. No matter what you're writing, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So when you are thinking about your writing project, always remember that, and this will also help you to organize your ideas. So, step three of the writing process is organizing. You want to outline the main points of your writing project. That means you will select, choose the details to include in the final version of your paper. Outlining, that's when you create a formal or informal outline of your intro, body, and conclusion. It just helps you to see structurally what you're going to talk about it, what you're going to put in your introduction. What are you going to talk about in your body paragraphs? What's your first idea, your second, your third idea? And you want to use the rule of three. Have at least 3 body paragraphs and 3 ideas that support your main topic. And of course, your conclusion wraps it all up. So you want to outline all of that to help you stay focused. Step 4, writing the first draft. Oh, this is where we get to the real nitty gritty, where now you actually have to write something. Using the notes from your outline, formulate your ideas into essay format. Now you are going to start with your introduction. You're going to actually start writing your paper or your document. Here's a tip. Your writing does not need to be perfect at this point, but it does need to be organized. It needs to meet all of the requirements of the assignment, and you need to think about it as far as this being your final draft. Step 5, revising the draft. Once you have something written out, this is where you go back and make changes. So you begin editing for clarity at this point. If you hand wrote the first draft of your essay, type it out now so that you can see exactly what you have, how long it is it meeting the page requirements or the word count requirements. You'll be able to see it better once you type it out. Make sure you format it. Do you need to use APA or MLA format? At this point, you want to organize it. Put all of your ideas in order in introduction, body, and conclusion. Remember, that is your main structure. And you want to finalize the draft because at this point, you want to get done with it as soon as possible. So revising means rearranging and editing. It means taking your rough draft and polishing it so that now it becomes your final submission. So you want to read the draft, read what you have so far. You want to cut out parts that do not fit. A lot of the times when you're trying to write, you actually put in information you don't need, or you figure out you need to add information that you don't have. Rearrange sentences in the paragraph so that all of your sentences flow properly. Rearrange paragraphs in the entire essay so that the whole essay flows and it is in logical order. You want to rewrite for clarity. So if any of your sentences don't quite make sense, you need to add something or subtract something, this is a time to do it. You want it to be absolutely clear. Read your essay out loud. This will allow you to hear mistakes. A lot of the times we don't see mistakes because we know what we want to write. So it is stuck in our minds what we want to write, and we think we see it on the paper. But sometimes if you read it out loud, you'll hear, oh, I missed a word. Oh, this doesn't sound right. And that will help you to revise as well. So reading out loud will help you to hear mistakes that need correcting. In this stage, you want your writing to be as clear and error-free as possible, again, because you're heading towards your final submission. Step 6 is to produce the final copy. So you want to print out a typed draft of your paper with all of the revisions that you made. You want a clean copy of all of the revisions and editing that you did. Edit your paper, meaning carefully examine the essay for errors. Use a red pen to help you see errors on the printed draft. I use red all the time. It's old school, but it works. That red really pops on the page. You want to fix these type of mistakes, any typos, misspelled words, grammar, punctuation, incomplete sentences, omitted words, or words that you left out, and any other mistakes you might run across. After making all of the revisions to your writing, you want to print another copy of your paper. You might be saying, this sounds like 3 times that I've been over this paper. Oh yes, that is what I suggest in my book, Proofreading Power. Now you want to proofread your paper. Proofreading is different from editing because at this point you should be pretty much done. Now you're just looking for little nitpicky errors like spacing, or did you miss a comma? Did you miss a period? Just little small things is what you're looking for in proofreading. Get another person to read your writing for errors, to catch errors. A lot of the times you will not catch your own errors no matter how many times you look at it. So if you can find a peer or somebody else, a coworker, to look at your writing, that's always helpful. Read the paper again to correct all errors before submitting the final copy. Why are you revising and reading and rereading your paper, your document so many times? Because errors can cost money, a grant, a scholarship. It can cost you a job. If you have any errors in your resume, a lot of people toss those out. So writing is about survival in a lot of instances. And if you have errors, then you will lose opportunities. So that's why you need to give yourself enough time to step away from your document and come back and read it again with fresh eyes. In summary, the writing process. You want to consider the subject. What are you talking about? Consider the purpose. Why are you talking about this? Consider the audience. Who are you talking to? Pre-write and organize your ideas. Write, revise, edit, and proofread. I know this was a longer video, but I know it includes so much valuable information for you. You need more practice, don't you? Yes. You want to go ahead and get my grammar book, Grammar Essentials for Proofreading, Copy Editing, and Business Writing. Proofreading Power, Skills and Drills provides essential rules, guidelines, and tips to quickly boost your editing prowess. You can get ordering information from my website, arhampton.com, prewritingskills.com. Both books are currently available on Amazon and lulu.com. So please go ahead and get your copies. Okay, hopefully this has been helpful to you. Thank you so much and happy learning.